Today's video, we're going to talk about the Google Ads HubSpot integration that HubSpot provides, or in general, integrating Google Ads with your HubSpot account to track sales that are coming in and ROI that you're getting from Google Ads inside your HubSpot account, or Google Ads leads that are coming from your Google Ads that you're running, and tracking that ROI in your HubSpot account, and how it can make you a lot more money from your Google Ads budget that you have assigned to run Google Ads for your company. So with this, by the way, there's actually two different integration types when you're talking about integrating Google Ads and HubSpot together. The first of which is integrating Google Ads data to HubSpot through, you can use our free integration, that is passing data about Google Ads into HubSpot to track your ROI from your Google Ads. But also there's a second way, which is when you're tracking your HubSpot conversion data, when you're taking your HubSpot conversion data and passing that data back into your Google Ads account to steer your ads with. If you have, because naturally, when you get your Google Ads data to show up in HubSpot, that primarily is just about tracking your ROI, okay, which is important. But way more important is getting the data about your ROI in your HubSpot account back into Google Ads to steer your ads with, because that's where all the money's made, particularly because Google Ads nowadays is run by machine learning. It figures out the people that search for your keywords, which of them work versus not work. Not only by keyword, but time of the day of the week, age of the user, gender of the user, income of the user, where that user's from, what have they searched in the past, what competitor sites have they been on in the past or not, and on and on and on and on and on. They find out through a process of elimination on Google Ads' side, who of the leads that they've been giving you turns into a client, turns into the biggest clients you have, give you the best ROI, and get you more results in the future. They actually want to do this for you because anything that generates you a profit, secondarily, they know gives their users the best experience. Because if the user doesn't do business with you for whatever reason, they don't want to send those people to you, because Google's users then, those users would be less likely to click on ads in the future because they never got what they wanted. So it's not just about money per se directly for Google. It's about providing their users a better experience from the ads, giving users relevant ads that deliver services or products that they're looking for, that they would actually want to buy and do buy, so that they want to click on ads in the future, which gives them long-term revenue potential out of their ads on their Google Ads search engine, or Google search engine, if you will. So with that said, Google can only get you more profits from your ads. They want to give you those profits if they have the data to work with. If they're optimizing for the cheapest leads, you're only going to get a small fraction of the profit potential out of Google Ads that you could have got if you gave them the data about who's qualified, scoring the lead, giving you the best quality lead, giving you the leads that turn into the biggest average deal sizes, or just the sales in general, if you're able to collect whether or not that person buys or not, typically within the first 90 days of them clicking on the ad. If a user, Google gives you the ability to tell them about the lead they sent up to 90 days from the day that they click. So if they normally buy within 90 days, you can tell them who's bought, who's not, or who didn't buy, and then, naturally how much they spent. So they get you the best customers as possible for your ad budget at any given time. And long-term, the most customers they can give you at the ROI, the minimum ROI that you're looking for. Anyway, so all of this is only possible if you feed in the data back into Google Ads that you're collecting in HubSpot about the leads you got from Google Ads, how they turned out. So I'm going to talk about both of these integration types, getting information from Google Ads into HubSpot, and then getting information from HubSpot into Google on this video, so you have everything you need to make way more money than you're making today, because you've got the best data for Google to give you the results with, but also that you're getting an ROI long term, because a lot of the leads you got, they don't close for 6, 12, 18, 24 months, or they buy again and you want to be able to run a report long term. Okay, all of the leads that I've gotten out of Google Ads in the last 5 years. Here's the revenue that they've generated. Here's the ad spend that I've spent to get them. Here's my long-term ROI. Because if you understand what kind of ROI that you need to be successful with Google Ads, 5-to-1, 6-to-1 in terms of ratio of sales to ad spend, then you could go to your ad manager and say, hey, ad manager, I want every possible sale I can get and every possible lead that I can get, as long as I'm getting at least a 6-to-1 ROI showing in HubSpot, and they'll do exactly that. And it gets to be very, very simple for you to scale your business at that point in time. And you can have one single point of truth inside your HubSpot account saying whether you're at 6-to-1 or not, which, by the way, even if you have profitable leads, lots of times it takes a long time. Most of the time it takes a long time to get an ROI out of a lead due to the sales cycle window being longer than a couple days in terms of the average time it takes for a lead to turn into a sale, and then get all the contract value out of a client that you have or customer that you have. And therefore, you can only scale your ad spend so much because it's going to take a while to get revenue out of a set of leads that you paid for through running your Google Ads. But you could do what we do when we are going to scale an ad campaign, which is to understand what that ratio is of sales to ad spend that we need to see inside our HubSpot account. Raise the budget that we're willing to spend on Google by 15%. Wait for the sales to go up enough to where we have met our minimum ratio that we're looking for, our ROI ratio or ROAS ratio of revenue to ad spend again. Then raise the ad spend another 15%. And then wait for the sales to come around again, a certain minimum amount, whether that takes 3, 6, 12 months, whatever. And you keep doing that again and again and again and again until one day you wake up and you're making millions of dollars from Google Ads because you walked it up and you had the data to confidently walk it up. The average person I see that tries to advertise on Google Ads throws out an arbitrary number of what they're willing to spend on ads, and that's what they spend. Which you're only getting 10% of the value out of Google Ads you could get if you instead did things the way that I just mentioned, which is to come up with an acceptable ROI and scale the ads as much as they possibly can be scaled. Of course, it's not going to happen overnight, but if you're waiting for your current ad spend to keep making you more and more money, it will for a while. Then you're going to hit a diminishing returns. You're going to hit a bottleneck, and you're just going to stop making more money. And you could have got the other 90% of the profit if you just went my way with it. But with that said, getting back to the topic at hand here, the integration that you get that provides you data from your HubSpot account back to your Google Ads account. So when you get a really good lead in that turns into profit, lots of profit, and you want to tell Google about it so they can get you more people like that with the same traits, you can do this in Google Ads, the connected accounts. You can Google this, now or after the video. But you're basically connecting HubSpot through Google Ads is direct integration they provide to HubSpot. HubSpot is mainstream enough of an application where they have a direct integration that they provide out of the box for you. And with that, then you use that with the combination of the ad conversion events that HubSpot provides for you inside your HubSpot account. You can Google that as well. And then from the ad conversion events, you can tell them the lead quality or the score of the lead or the size of the predicted deal size of the lead or how much they spent to trigger a conversion that you've set up inside Google Ads to trigger for certain things that you want to trigger. So you can actually, through the ad conversion events, only trigger or send a conversion event to Google Ads, for instance, if a lead was scored at least a 5 out of 10. On a score of 1 to 10, at least a 5. You have a conversion goal set up in Google Ads for that exact event. That is, any lead that was marked as a 5 or higher in terms of lead score in your HubSpot account, a conversion triggers under this conversion goal. And then, of course, down inside your ad account under the campaigns, under the keywords, under the time of the day, the device menu, or the device, what devices people are using, you can see where that quality lead that was scored a 5 or higher actually came from, so you can optimize for that you yourself. / the algorithm that Google has will now start to try to do more of that in the future. For me, if like I said, if you typically get a customer like 80% of the time before the 90 days that is up, that Google allows you to track a visitor and update Google about what that visitor did from the time that they initially clicked on your ads, then I'm going to track sales and then the amount of the sales and use that to steer my ads in Google Ads. If they don't, then I'm going to track whether a lead was qualified or not, and the value of the lead, that is the assumed predicted contract value, and use that to steer the ads with. Or if you don't have a contract value number, you're going to score the lead between 1 and 10 and use that to steer your ads. Because with the conversion goals in Google Ads, you could track whether something happened as well as a conversion value tied to it. You can technically track more than that if you use custom variables, but we won't talk about that on this video. And so with that, you can either use that value to track the lead score or the predicted contract value size or the actual amount they spent. And you want to track as close to the end result that you're looking for, obviously, because the algorithm that Google has that optimizes your ads is going to be able to get more accurate at what they're doing for you, the more relevant data they have. But, if a person on average doesn't buy for 6 months, you don't have any option other than to not track sales and optimize for sales, but optimize for leads that have the highest lead score for you, or, the average assumed predicted deal value that you expect out of those leads. So anyway, the combination between the connected accounts inside Google Ads and the ad conversion events menu in HubSpot, you can do all that. And that said, whereas every single time, once this is set up, your sales staff, makes the lead score a 5 out of 10, you trigger that conversion in Google Ads that you set up for that exact event. Whereas you can do that, the data, it's still tricky to have this process work flawlessly. There's going to be gaps in your data somewhat. It's better than nothing by a long shot, by not doing it at all. But there's gaps in the data that you're going to have, mainly because people a lot of times that call in, that turn into a lead from Google Ads, it's another person that orders. And yes, you could file it under the same company, if you will, in HubSpot, but still, the direct integration that you set up between the Google Ads and HubSpot is not a lot of times going to pick that up. Naturally, because what happens is there's a Google Click ID is what it's called, or GCL ID, that gets picked up when the lead's created. That gets stored in HubSpot. That needs to be passed back to Google Ads for them to understand that, so they can match up the person that bought or was marked as a qualified lead inside Google Ads to know who you're talking about. Because Google assigns this Google Click ID to every user that clicks on an ad. Every ad click gets a Google Click ID. And so naturally that Google Click ID, if it's a different person who buys than who initially inquired, then Google will get confused, don't know who you're talking about, and therefore the conversion won't show up in Google Ads. To fix some of that, by the way, you can take it so if a different person buys than who initially inquired, you can take the Google Click ID and move it over to that other person at that same company. But a lot of times this data just gets lost, so to say, if you will, and it never gets really directly connected. So what I like to do at our firm, more than using the direct integration, I like to use manual conversion uploads using a spreadsheet, because Google gives you a manual way to upload your data from HubSpot to Google Ads. If you just put the data into a Google Sheet and then give Google that Google Sheet. We do that once a month. Mainly because, like I said, we can find out the customer, we can look at the customers who bought, look at the lead, and then where it's obvious it was a different person who came in or whatnot, we can fill that gap better because we can use our logic as humans to do so to say. And similar to that, like if you have phone call leads that come in, right? The person who calls in, they may call themselves their company name. They may mention on the phone that they're using a trade name, and that trade name is not in HubSpot. So there's a disconnect for that reason. So if a human is because what you ultimately can do then is a human can go ahead and listen to all the call recordings. If you use a call tracking program like CallRail, every call that comes in, that it'll be marked as coming from Google Ads or from another source. Each call from Google Ads, you can have that person listen to the call recordings and then match up everything they heard about how they refer to themselves in terms of company name and individual user or buyer, match it up with HubSpot, and where it looks like it's the same company, same person, same whatever, they can still count that as a conversion, link the data together, and pass that Google Click ID that might be under a different person, but you connected that person to another person from the initial call that came in, so you get the most conversion data possible. I would recommend you do that if you want the most results. Naturally, though, it's more work, but my opinion is it's going to be worth it for you to do it that way, because the direct integration's only going to be half as accurate as doing a manual process. Anyway, so that's the HubSpot conversion data to Google, to get HubSpot data from your HubSpot account to Google Ads to steer your ads with. Now you got obviously the other integration here, which is your Google Ads data to HubSpot to track your long-term ROI. And you can do that through HubSpot's free integration. This is real simple. You can see the long-term ROI and lifetime value calculations that way. That is, literally get here's total sales from Google Ads over since the inception of us setting up this integration. Here's the long-term ad spend since we set up this integration. Here's the long-term ROI ratio. And like I said before, you can set up a minimum ROI ratio that you know is acceptable to your company, and then tell your ad guy, as long as this number stays at or better than this minimum ROI target that we have, you could spend an unlimited amount. Just keep it within the ratios. And even if they're setting up something that's efficient, it still takes time for the revenue to catch up to the ad spend, like I was saying before. That is the easiest way to become insanely rich running Google Ads for your business, because you just over time keep making more and more money that way. You keep investing a portion of the revenue and profit you have coming in into more ad spend on a continuous basis. The ad person, assuming they're worth their weight, will keep finding new ways to run new ad spend or to run new ads. Or realistically, what happens is your ads will probably just run a higher percentage of the time in the ad spots that are already successful, and you just keep making more money. So anyway, with that said, the Google Ads data, the integration that provides data from Google Ads in your HubSpot account, it does the you can easily do the form integrations so that the form leads that are coming in through your website will be tagged as Google Ads and connecting. So all this, what I just described to you, is possible. However, the phone leads that you have coming in, HubSpot does not, at least outside of the box, provide you a way to link the Google Ads data to the phone call leads you have coming in. And in order to do that, you need a Zapier account, and you need to use a call tracking provider. I recommend CallRail, where you pull the CallRail data, which will be able to differentiate a Google Ads lead versus another type of lead that comes from another source, like I mentioned before, into the Zapier, which is like a middleware that gets the data out of CallRail into your HubSpot account with the data that says that this lead came from Google Ads, so that your lifetime value calculator inside HubSpot will work, because all the leads are tracked, not just the form leads or some of the leads themselves, which are just form leads. If you have more than 10% of your leads come in from phone calls, well, then you have to add this extra layer of data integration, which is through the CallRail account itself, and it'll be worth it for you to do so. But with that said, that is everything in a nutshell at a high level about integrating Google Ads to HubSpot and vice versa. You know, the details or the particulars of all this, you can easily Google for this information. I mainly just wanted to tell you about which general direction and how to go about doing this, so you know your main overall options as it pertains to scaling in Google Ads for your business, and when you use HubSpot to manage the incoming lead flow for your business. So you know how to do it. And the rest of it, obviously, you can go ahead and hire a technician even, and just tell them which make sure to get the core elements that I mentioned here to be successful in place, because it's all just minutia at that point in time, obviously. You can watch a million videos about how to hook up the HubSpot integration to your site, and and that's easy. The hard part is understanding how to configure it for the maximum profit from your Google ads, and that's what I covered in this video. So anyway, with that said, if you have any questions about anything I covered here today, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. You can ask me any ad related question that you'd like. I'll try to use my 15 years of ad experience to put you on the right track with what you're doing as best as I can, just as a thank you for watching the channel and helping the channel grow. As a side, if you are looking for the best information that's going to help you make millions of dollars running ads for your business, this is the channel you want to subscribe to already, as the information that I provide on this channel is coming from my knowledge and findings running ad strategy for dozens of ad accounts, 40 hours a week as my sole job, and I provide you what exactly is working as well as not working on this channel. That doesn't sound like a lot unless you understand that 99% of the information you find online about running ads for your business is generic, or the information being given is coming from somebody who doesn't run ads or very little ads. All these people selling courses and whatnot, they aren't really running ads for their business. And so the information is second, third, fourth hand information, and therefore it's just not very useful. And the other people not selling courses are trying to make money off of advertising revenue, which they're not running ads for clients like I am. So therefore the information is just basically mostly BS, and at least not nearly as good as what you're going to find on this channel. So you should subscribe already, not delay. So subscribe now. You can also find my blog that I write with specific strategies you can follow that are going to make you a lot more money. Blog of mine you can find at my site at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The strategies come with step-by-step instructions, with screenshots, with the whole shebang. Stuff that we use routinely as a part of our arsenal to get guaranteed results for our clients, because that's what we have to do at our firm to even get paid. So the stuff that we just pay, that we charge clients big money for, you get for free on that blog. As a side, if you are actually looking for somebody to just do all the hard work of doing the strategies that I mentioned that work on this channel, you can hire me to do that exact thing for you. And with that, our firm does not charge you a fee unless and until we can provide you more profit from your campaigns that you're already getting now in excess of what our fee actually is. The only catch is that we got to know we can get great results with your campaigns up front before we are willing to agree to work on your campaigns. We don't work with just any client as a result of that. But if you want to see if we could work together, reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com. I'd be happy to look over your stuff and give you some estimates of how much we can actually provide you on top of what you're already getting, short, medium, and long term. Or if your ads are just not profitable yet, how to get them profitable, and ultimately how quickly we could do that, if we can do it. So be happy to, and we'll look forward to hearing from you there on my site or through my site. If you're not looking for an ad agency to work on your stuff, regardless of how good they are, I understand a lot of people want to manage their own ads. With that, though, if we've worked in your niche market before, and I've worked in over 100 different niche markets in the last 10 years of running this firm, we could give you the exact ads, landing pages, all of it that work for your market, and just copy and paste all the results we're already getting after years of optimizing ads and landing pages in your space, and just start using it right away, and have a turnkey results with what we have on your account just by using the winning version of all of it. As long as our client's been in a different geographic area that you're targeting, it's all fair game to use it. And we sell those templates for a low one-time fee. And you could bypass 90% of the work that you would have to do otherwise to get to the same results for yourself. And I could tell you the results we got with the templates already, so you would obviously know before you ever bought the templates from us what you stand to gain from them. And we got people using these templates to start other businesses that are actually so refined. An amateur business owner could take our templates and start a lead generation and selling business right away today, because the leads that we get are so cheap, and the people that are in that space that want leads, whether that be plumbing, pest control, whatever, they'll buy those leads from you, and it's a passive income business once you got it set up and going, because the leads get shot off to the people who are buying, and there's no actual delivery of anything that needs to be done. It's the template and the ads that actually need to be set up right for that business to work, and we got them. We also got people that use our templates to start e-commerce businesses. If you were looking to start an e-commerce business and don't know how to do it, start with one of our templates to sell a product that you could get from China, and that already would sell and you know would sell because we got a client selling that exact same product in another country that you're not going to be selling in, and you're going to sell in a different country. So anyway, if you're interested in any of those other ideas, opportunities, you can reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com. But I'll wrap everything up with that. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comment section as mentioned, and I'll see you in the next one.